You're listening to Seven Horns AI, your AI-powered market update. It's Thursday, June 11th, 2026, and we're bringing you your pre-market preview. Overnight, Asian markets navigated a volatile session in response to yesterday's sell-off here in the U.S. Japan's Nikkei 225 showed notable resilience, recovering from an intraday drop of nearly 3% to close roughly flat. However, the Japanese ETF proxy, EWJ, closed down 1.83% in yesterday's session. Today, EWJ futures are showing a rebound, up 1.18%. Meanwhile, the Hang Seng Index in Hong Kong closed down around 7 to 9/10%, though its futures are essentially flat after the close. The China and Hong Kong ETF proxy, FX1, actually showed resilience yesterday, closing up 0.17%, but is now indicating a slight fade, down 0.89% in pre-market. Building on that mixed but ultimately resilient Asian session, U.S. futures are pointing to a notable bounce this morning. S&P 500 futures are up about 0.8% versus yesterday's cash close. Nasdaq futures are leading the way, gaining 1.2%, while Dow futures are also showing strength, up over 0.8%. This pre-market action suggests buyers are stepping in after yesterday's broad decline. Across the Atlantic, developed international markets, as tracked by the ETF, are also up over 0.7%, contributing to a more positive sentiment as European trading is underway. Yesterday's market was weighed down by escalating U.S.-Iran geopolitical tensions, a stronger-than-expected inflation report, and a significant rotation out of AI semiconductor names. However, pre-market data is showing a strong reversal in many of yesterday's hardest-hit stocks. Supermicro, which plunged nearly 28% yesterday on dilution fears after announcing a $7 billion capital raise, is now bouncing over 5% in pre-market trading. We're seeing similar rebounds in names like Tesla, up nearly 2% pre-market, and Nvidia, gaining 1.3% after both pulled back sharply yesterday. Apple was the only megacap to finish in the green yesterday, gaining 0.35%, and it's holding on to those gains this morning. On the commodity front, crude oil surged over 2% yesterday due to geopolitical concerns, but the U.S. oil ETF is showing some softening this morning, down over 1% in pre-market. Gold, surprisingly, tumbled over 4% yesterday despite geopolitical tensions, and futures indicate a further slight decline, suggesting it's acting more like a rate-sensitive asset than a safe haven. As we head into the open, several factors will be in focus. Geopolitical developments between the U.S. and Iran remain a key wildcard, influencing oil prices and overall sentiment. The fallout from yesterday's hotter-than-expected inflation print will also be closely watched, with any Federal Reserve commentary potentially impacting rate expectations. The major question for the day is whether the AI trade reassessment continues. Yesterday saw significant selling in semiconductors, but the strong pre-market bounce suggests dip buyers are stepping in. Today we'll test the conviction of that rebound. Additionally, keep an eye on crude oil, which settled at $90.03 a barrel yesterday. Sustained prices at this level could pose a headwind for consumers. We also have Adobe reporting earnings today. That's your pre-market briefing from Seven Horns AI. Good luck out there today. Visit sevenhorns.ai for more.